The ratio of the depth of flow to the diameter of the channel for maximum discharge in a circular channel in open channel flow is A 0.1, B 0.55, C 0.95, D 1.85. The correct answer is 0.95. A conical tank with a bottom opening of cross-sectional area A is filled with water and is mounted on supports as shown in the figure. What is the force F with which plate X must be pushed up to prevent water from leaking? Assume that the density of air is negligible as compared to the density of water L. AL, Vg, BL, A.Hg, CL, Vg2, dL.Vg3. The correct answer is L. A.Hg. A relief valve. A provides back pressure for a cylinder. B unloads a pump. C is a directional control valve. D none of these. The correct answer is a directional control valve. An isentropic process is the one in which A PV constant, B PVR constant, C PVR constant and process is reversible. D none of these. The correct answer is PVR constant and process is reversible. The distribution of shear stress in a stream of fluid in a circular tube is A linear with radius for turbulent flow only, B linear with radius for laminar flow only, C linear with radius for both laminar turbulent flow, D parabolic with radius for both laminar turbulent flow. The correct answer is linear with radius for both laminar turbulent flow. For motion of spherical particles in a stationary fluid, the drag coefficient in hindered settling compared to that in free settling is A more, B less, C equal, D more or less depending on the type of particle. The correct answer is more. Specific speed of a centrifugal pump relates it with another pump having the A dynamic similarity, B same efficiency, C same speed, D geometrical similarity. The correct answer is dynamic similarity. A vessel fitted to a reciprocating pump. A increases the work done, B decreases the work done, C causes cavitation, D results in non-uniform discharge. The correct answer is decreases the work done. Deformation drag, which is caused by widespread deformation of fluid around the immersed body. A occurs when Henry is very small. B is primarily a friction drag. C is independent of body length. D depends mainly on cross-sectional shape. The correct answer is occurs when Henry is very small. In isotropic turbulence, they are equal to each other. A temporal velocity components. B mean square of velocity fluctuations in the three coordinate directions. C root mean square of velocity fluctuations in the three coordinate directions. D none of these. The correct answer is mean square of velocity fluctuations in the three coordinate directions. Viscosity of water is about times that of air at room temperature. A 15, B 55, C 155, D 1050. The correct answer is 55. Net positive suction head NPSH of a centrifugal pump must be A greater than the vapor pressure of the liquid, B less than the vapor pressure of the liquid, C equal to the vapor pressure of the liquid, D less than barometric pressure. The correct answer is greater than the vapor pressure of the liquid. Actual lift of a pump is always less than the theoretical lift and is limited by the A specific gravity temperature of the liquid, B leakage pressure decreasing at higher elevations, C frictional resistance through pipes fittings passages, D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. In case of unsteady fluid flow conditions, flow pattern change with the passage of time at a position in a flow situation. Which of the following is an example of unsteady flow? A. Discharge of water by a centrifugal pump being run at a constant RPM. B. Water flow in the suction and discharge pipe of a reciprocating pump. C. Water discharge from a vertical vessel in which constant level is maintained. D. Low velocity flow of a highly viscous liquid through a hydraulically smooth pipe. The correct answer is water flow in the suction and discharge pipe of a reciprocating pump. Nature of fluid flow during the opening of a valve in a pipeline is A. Laminar. B. Unsteady. C. Steady. D. Uniform. The correct answer is unsteady. The pressure is measured by a static tube. A. Dynamic. B. Static. C. Total. D. None of these. The correct answer is static. The speed of a sound wave in a gas is analogous to the speed of A. An elementary wave in an open channel. B. Flow in an open channel. C. A disturbance traveling upstream in moving fluid. D. None of these. The correct answer is an elementary wave in an open channel. Mercury is an ideal barometric fluid mainly due to its A. High density. B. Low compressibility. C. Low capillary action. D. Very low vapor pressure. The correct answer is very low vapor pressure. A spherical particle is falling slow in a viscous liquid such that Reynolds number is less than 1. Which statement is correct for this situation? A. Inertial and drag forces are important. B. Drag gravitational and buoyancy forces are important. C. Drag force and gravitational forces are important. D. None of the above. The correct answer is drag gravitational and buoyancy forces are important. A gas. A. Signifies absence of density. B. Can resist shearing action. C. Is incompressible. D. Is a supercritical vapor. The correct answer is a supercritical vapor. Pitot tube measures the of a fluid. A. Pressure. B. Average velocity. C. Average flow rate. D. Point velocity. The correct answer is point velocity. Which of the following is not dimensionless? A. Froude number. B. Kinematic viscosity. C. Pressure coefficient. D. None of these. The correct answer is kinematic viscosity. In laminar flow through a round tube, the discharge varies. A. Linearly as the viscosity. B. Inversely as the pressure drop. C. Inversely as the viscosity. D. As the square of the radius. The correct answer is inversely as the viscosity. Which is not a variable head meter? A. Venturimeter. B. Pitot tube. C. Rotameter. D. None of these. The correct answer is rotameter. The pipe wall thickness is minimum for a pipe of given nominal size having schedule number. A. 160. B. 120. C. 80. D. 40. The correct answer is 40. Reynolds number for flow of water at room temperature through 2 cm dia pipe at an average velocity of 5 cm sec is around A. 2000. B. 10. C. 100. D. 1000. The correct answer is 1000. Centrifugal pumps as compared to reciprocating pumps. A. Run at a lower speed for the same discharge. B. Do not need priming. C. Deliver fluid with pulsating fluctuating discharge. D. Can be run with discharge line valve closed for a short interval. The correct answer is can be run with discharge line valve closed for a short interval. What type of motion the fluid element undergoes when it changes from one position to another position such that the angle between the two sides change. A. Rotation. B. Translation. C. Linear deformation. D. Angular deformation. The correct answer is angular deformation. In which type of fluid flow the velocity of flow of fluid changes from point to point in the fluid at any instant? A. Rotational. B. Unsteady. C. Turbulent. D. Non-uniform. The correct answer is non-uniform. The continuity equation in ideal fluid flow states that A. Net rate of inflow into any small volume must be zero. B. Energy is not constant along a streamline. C. Energy is constant along a streamline. D. There exists a velocity potential. The correct answer is net rate of inflow into any small volume must be zero. Bernoulli's equation is not applicable when the flow is A. Irrotational. B. Incompressible. C. Viscous. D. All ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. The equivalent diameter for pressure drop calculation for a duct of square cross-section is given by where x each side of the square duct. A. X. B. X. C. 2x. D. X2. The correct answer is X. Center of pressure of a plane surface of arbitrary shape immersed vertically in a static mass of fluid. A. Lies above the centroid of the plane surface. B. Is independent of the specific weight of the fluid. C. Is different for different fluids. D. Is at the centroid of the plane surface. The correct answer is independent of the specific weight of the fluid. Drag coefficient for flow past immersed body is the ratio of to the product of velocity head and density. A. Shear stress. B. Shear force. C. Average drag per unit projected area. D. None of these. The correct answer is average drag per unit projected area. Creeping flow around a sphere is defined when particle Reynolds number is A. 2100. B. 0.1. C. 2.5. D. 500. The correct answer is 0.1. Open channel liquid flow is most conveniently measured by A. Hot wire anemometer. B. Notch. C. Rotameter. D. Segmental orifice. The correct answer is notch. Toothpaste is A. Bingham plastic. B. Pseudoplastic. C. Newtonian liquid. D. Dilatant. The correct answer is dilatant. Slurries can be most conveniently pumped by a pump. A. Screw. B. Reciprocating. C. Gear. D. Centrifugal. The correct answer is centrifugal. Volute type of casing is provided in a centrifugal pump to A. Convert velocity head to pressure head. B. Convert pressure head to velocity head. C. Reduce the discharge fluctuation. D. Increase the discharge. The correct answer is increase the discharge. Each term of the Bernoulli's equation written in the form represents the total energy per unit. A. Mass. B. Volume. C. Specific weight. D. None of these. The correct answer is mass. In a free vortex the A. Velocity changes linearly with radial distance. B. Flow is necessarily rotational. C. Radial component of velocity is same everywhere. D. Streamlines are not circular. The correct answer is velocity changes linearly with radial distance. Pick out the wrong statement. A. The eddy viscosity is a function of the type of turbulence involved. B. The eddy viscosity is a fluid property. C. The viscosity of gas increases with increase in temperature. D. The viscosity of a liquid increases with decrease in temperature. The correct answer is the eddy viscosity is a fluid property. The velocity distribution in direction normal to the direction of flow in plane Poiseuille flow is A. Hyperbolic, B. Parabolic, C. Linear, D. None of these. The correct answer is parabolic. In fluid flow, the stagnation point is defined as a point where D is zero. A. Flow velocity, B. Pressure, C. Total energy, D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is flow velocity. A special type of liquid transporting device is the diffuser pump, in which are minimized A. bearing losses, B. disc friction, C. shock losses, D. cavitation. The correct answer is shock losses. Which of the following is most prone to pulsating discharge flow? A. centrifugal pump, B. reciprocating pump, C. gear pump, D. axial flow pump. The correct answer is gear pump. A streamline is A. the line connecting the midpoints of flow cross-sections. B. defined for uniform flow only. C. drawing normal to the velocity vector at every point. D. always the path of a particle. The correct answer is drawing normal to the velocity vector at every point. Which of the following relationship is valid for the equilibrium position of the float in a rotameter, where dF drag force on the float, Bf buoyant force on the float, Wf weight of the float? A. dF Bf Wf, B. dF Bf Wf, C. dF Bf Wf 0, D. none of these. The correct answer is dF Bf Wf. Drag is defined as the force exerted by the A. fluid on the solid in a direction opposite to flow, B. fluid on the solid in the direction of flow, C. solid on the fluid, D. none of these. The correct answer is fluid on the solid in the direction of flow. The boundary layer is that part of a moving fluid in which the fluid velocity is A. affected by the fluid flow pressure, B. constant, C. affected by the presence of a solid boundary, D. all A, B, and C. The correct answer is affected by the presence of a solid boundary.